Hey, what's going up, Bull Runner? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here today. You are a genius for being here. WTF happened to Ripple XRP? That's what everyone is asking. WTF, right? Well, we have been talking that this was a potential coming. Now, this very likely could be a simple reset, or will we see a continued drop to the downside? We will be diving into the charts today to discover that for sure. But as we said, all the way back here, there was a short indicator all the way back here on the date of April 1st, 2023. This candle right here gave us this short indicator from Market Liberator. And remember, these shorter time frame plays typically play out first. So we have a weekly, very bullish indicator, remember. So we're not giving up. It's not the end of XRP, but there is definitely a run up to the take profit up here of 67 cents on the weekly. It's going to take time. I mean, look at when the indicator hit all the way back September 19th, and it's still working its way up. Finally hit the safe long take profit here. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this information is financial advice. So good thing here, we are still above the cloud right here, as you can see on the weekly. It did run down severely hard. It actually ran all the way down and tapped right off that 50 exponential moving average on the daily. Is there potential for more drop? Yes, there's potential down here to the 43-cent level. And then as we always talk about, we have the fair value gaps. This fair value gap left me, like when this first ran up, I told all of you guys on this candle, I was hoping it would come all the way back down. And that was all the way back on March 22nd. Unfortunately, the bulls just kept on going and it raged up to the upside, leaving this fair value gap down here at 39 cents. There's even a micro fair value at 36 cents. And if for some reason it gets nasty, there is like whispers out there that a financial crisis is coming, a legit financial crisis, stocks crashing, cryptos crashing, housing market crashing. And I don't like to be a bearer of bad news. I'm just telling you what I'm listening to protect myself going forward. But as we can see, price did run down here. We do have a fair value gap at 27 cents. And that is where we're looking at. And then if you jump to the weekly, there's also this fair value gap here. And usually this 50% level of the fair value gap is the first thing to get filled, and then it could run away from there. That is currently sitting at 42 cents. Now, the other thing that's interesting when it comes to XRP is that it is lagging behind. Okay, so it is lagging behind. So remember, Bitcoin had this nice, spectacular run to the upside. Ethereum also had its nice, spectacular run to the upside over the last few weeks, but XRP is lagging behind in that. And that's actually a good thing for us in reality, because we never got the actual breakout to the upside. So still leaving me speculating we could be returning to 77 cents. As long as XRP can decouple from Bitcoin and Ethereum, then there is that possibility. So we will continue to track this. So make sure you click subscribe and stick with us. Also, at the end of this video, by the way, if you would like to not ever worry if price goes up or price goes down with crypto, and you were just using crypto as fun, right? It's fun. It's, by the way, none of this is financial advice anyway. So you shouldn't be risking all of your entire money, life savings on the trading markets of crypto. Instead, you should be learning a new skill and making money every single week. Go ahead and cover today's information that's interesting. So one of the most things that I found the most interesting, and I heard a little bit about this before, but check this out. Taylor Swift, how smart her and her team are. Taylor Swift was about to sign a $100 million sponsorship deal with crypto exchange FTX. The deal fell through after she asked them if they sold unregistered securities. So Taylor Swift and her team asked specifically FTX, hey, these tokens that you guys are selling, are they sold as unregistered securities, or are they registered securities, or are they unregistered? And they did not give her the proper answer. And guess what happened? She decided not to take the deal, and it was going to be $100 million. And she would be wrapped up in that multi-billion-dollar lawsuit right now for influencers peddling FTX. She was smart enough, her and her team, provided that they did not get involved. Also, another update here, day 12, making Judge Annalisa Torres' hair slightly bigger for XRP holders until she reaches some sort of decision. Now we got Elon Musk in there getting his hair bigger every single day. Brad Garlinghouse got some hair going. Gary Gensler. Here is Annalisa Torres, of course. Now she's on top of the world with her big giant hammer that she's going to be slamming down when she finally rules on this case. So very funny from Hodl Monkey over at Twitter. Go and follow him. Very funny stuff. And also, just in, Tesla reveals none of their $321 million in Bitcoin was sold in Q1. That's huge positive news. As we know, there's potential of the government dumping their coins. There's potential of the Silk Road magic tokens that the government seized may be dumped on the market. Tesla, even though they went through and they had a lot of different things going on, decided to hold on to their Bitcoin, which is really, really exciting. There was rumors that they actually purchased more, but that has not been verified yet. And as we've been talking about here, guys, cryptocurrency exchange Kraken has secured a key registration with the Irish government, allowing it to operate across the EU. So a lot of these companies, as we've been talking about, and if you guys watched the video yesterday, Gary Gensler did not give any ground, right? He was standing strong in his hatred for crypto yesterday when he was grilled up on Capitol Hill about whether securities or not securities, all cryptos, right? He was asked about Ethereum. He was asked about Bitcoin. He never gave a straight yes or no answer. And so all of these companies that are registered here in the US, like Coinbase, Kraken, and all of these exchanges, they're getting, and obviously I would too if I were them, getting a little worried, getting a little scared. What's going on here? So they're just going ahead and preparing now for what they'll probably have to do regardless, and that's get the heck out of the United States and head over to Ireland to register their company. And as we've been following as well, Algorand got tied up in this new Bittrex lawsuit. So Gary Gensler is suing Algorand, even though Gary Gensler was promoting Algorand. He's suing the exchange where Algorand is sold and calling Algorand specifically. This was one of the coins named in that situation. Algorand responds, though, being called a security by the SEC. Here's what they had to say. We believe that algos are not securities under U.S. law. We welcome clear regulatory guidelines for the advancement and growth of the entire industry. So hopefully we do get some sort of information from that. But as of last night, we noticed Gary Gensler is not giving any clarity on anything. Also in the news right now, what's happening? Coinbase is trending over on the side. Coinbase launches offshore exchange in Bermuda. So they're also preparing now to get the heck out of the United States. So not only are exchanges, Coinbase, Kraken, and all of these like getting prepared to get the heck out of the United States, I've actually had quite a few of my friends tell me they're gearing up and starting their process of getting citizenship in other countries to get out of the United States because it's absolutely just falling apart. So that's huge news, obviously, for Coinbase. For all of you out there that are meme coin fans, we got Pepe to the moon. Personally, I don't own any Pepe, not buying any. It's too late for me to get involved in that. It already pumped to the moon, and I don't want to get left behind. So I'm going to go ahead and step away from that. Also, the coin OMI, if you guys are familiar with the VV collection, OMI is the coin that runs over on that platform. It says, hate to break it to OMI holders. It's time to accept that you got played. Now, where do you go from here? If I was a big bag holder, I'd figure out how to meme it. Get creatives to create content around the token. It has no chance, and you leave the utility to VV. OMI has possibly the lowest trading volume of any coin and still zero effort for utility. Crypto pay in, but let's not include OMI in that crypto. I got rugged. So people are really upset about OMI because they're talking about, they just have another update about more updates coming later. All right, and right here, new CEO of Algorand Foundation, Stacy Warden, has issued the statement in response to the SEC Gov naming Algo a security, and here's their direct statement. The U.S. SEC recently sued Bittrex for purported securities law violations. The complaint alleges that algos are an example of security available for trading on Bittrex. We are not a party to the lawsuit and do not intend to address each allegation made in the complaint. However, we want to be clear. The Algorand Foundation believes that algos are not securities under U.S. law. As a leader in the blockchain industry, we welcome clear regulatory guidelines for the advancement and growth of the entire ecosystem. Our priority is to act in the best interest of our community, and we will continue to do so. We look forward to seeing what is what this dynamic community will build next. Algorand. All right, so yesterday, after a crazy day in the news, lots and lots of going on, today's been a little bit more chill. So let's jump back over here into the charts and see what is going on one more time. So XRP will drop down to the different time frames for us. We are still in this short signal indicator from the market liberator indicator. It did hit the 50 exponential moving average. It currently shows the final position take profit on the indicator of 0.43680. And this indicator is free, by the way. Just Google search market liberator. We have, however, bounced off the bottom of the volatility band. So that typically indicates that it could be a short-term bottom, whether it's going to continue up or down. We have a fair value gap right here that leads back to that 14 exponential moving average and also back to a continuous line of support and resistance here at 0.50981. It's been a support, very likely could run up, become a resistance. The magic white line is here. It did actually act as a support this time. So we'll see if we can get that move back to the upside. To finish this off, it would be coming down to this level. And as I said before, if for some reason it does start to get to this level, there is a possibility of it coming and just filling up these fair value gaps to the downside. So not exciting, not looking forward to that, but it is definitely a possibility. When we jump down to the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame was also a short, and that short came in and it already, I mean, even though it hit down here already once, it's still giving a signal here for the take profit at 47 cents. So there's still a little downside left there, it's saying. And if we jump to the 1 hour, it has come and tapped that magic white line. There's definitely a possibility of it coming and tapping that again, because we talk about that all the time. As you can see, price got to it and on the 30-minute time frame and rejected. So it tried to break through, rejected there. So when that happens, I usually go to the next time frame down, and it's likely coming back to this area again, 47 cents to the downside, right? So if that's what happens, if we're continuing this crazy drop that everyone keeps talking about in the markets, we can see that we did have a significant drop off on Bitcoin yesterday. Let's do the daily charts here. So yesterday's candle finally came to a close down 5% on a daily move there. We also have Ethereum was down 8% on one move. But again, it's leaving these big giant fair value gaps. The market doesn't like fair value gaps. Look at Bitcoin's though. Bitcoin's fair value gap is not really a big deal. That could easily run back up and continue dumping to the downside. As we saw on XRP, it already got to the daily 50 exponential movement. That would be $27,000 for Bitcoin. It's got a lot of craziness to fight through, but are we going to start to see the downside of Bitcoin? It's interesting to find out, because look at all these fair value gaps that it left on its way up. Because remember, Bitcoin just had a massive pump. It was going on and on and on and on. Everyone thought, oh, there's no way. It just can't keep going. It just can't keep going. But it did. Kept going. And so it very likely could come clear all of these out down to 17,000. And then I saw some people talking about the possibility of Bitcoin clearing out all of their daily fair value gaps, getting back to $7,000. I mean, that is like people foreshadowing that. That's like the Great Depression coming back, because obviously we know where we are now in the world with Bitcoin. It's become a real thing. Even Gary Gensler says it's not a security, so it's a commodity. I mean, that's the one coin that he agrees on. So it'll be interesting to keep following that and what's going on. So also, as we can see here, it did get into that supply and demand zone that we talked about on Bitcoin. It hasn't really dropped as far as it could. So there's definitely the possibility of more downside coming. You can see now it is under this blue cloud. So Bitcoin is now officially under the blue cloud for today. We'll see if today's candle can battle back. But as we talked about a lot, right? Once it gets under the 14 exponential moving average, it becomes bearish. Bitcoin does, Ethereum does, XRP does, all of that, right? So it's under there again. So that's unfortunate. And the other thing that's important to keep in mind is the dollar, the Dixie, right? The US dollar. When the dollar pumps, crypto dumps, and vice versa. So as you can see right here, for the last couple of days, the dollar had been pumping. And then today, that the candle that just in pumped again up into the supply and demand zone, while crypto took its dump today. So does the Dixie continue to climb? If it does, if the dollar continues to rise, maybe the dollar comes back up to its 50 exponential moving average, then that is potential of the Bitcoin dropping to its 50. So that is interesting to say. So what I would recommend for all of you guys, if you want to watch something on TradingView, watch the dollar, the DXY. It is above the blue cloud here, as you can see. However, look, it rejected off of the 14 exponential moving average. And it's actually starting, this new candle just came out and it's already starting to move to the downside. So the one thing that I wanted to actually, I'm going to have to check this real quick because I want you guys to see this because I don't know. I had those lines drawn here. Let me show you. So I had these drawn for a very, very long time, these supply and demand boxes, and it fell in this weird spot right here. And so we're going to go with Heikin-Ashi candles. And we're going to see what's going on here. So this was the Heikin-Ashi candle on that. And it's the down candle before the up move. But what's weird is it got here instead. So let's go ahead and delete this one and then go here. And it's also possibly because I use such a higher time frame. So look at that. Boom, boom, dipped in there. Okay. So that's the daily dip. We got it in there. So that's where that one came from. Well, let's go to a smaller time frame like the 1 hour. Go back in history. And we'll see if we can find a more secure supply and demand zone. Because it was from a long time ago. That's why, like, this is taking me forever. Okay, so we're finally here. Let's go ahead and turn these off so it's not confusing it. All right, there we go. Now, look at these supply and demand zones. So we'll get rid of this one. And these smaller time frames will come into play. So we have this one here. This one here. And we use the red candles, remember? So the last red candle, the last red candle before the up move, last red candle before the up move, last red candle before the up move, last red candle before the up move. And then this one encompasses that one as well. Okay, so that is the ladders. These are different very key levels that we'll have to watch for on the dollar as we go forward. So as you can see, where we're at right now, it got to this level, started climbing back up, moved to this level, and then it just recently rejected off of this level that we made. If it breaks this level and starts to make its move to the upside again, we'll be returning to this level, the 102. If it breaks that level, then we'll be returning to this level here. Ish, right? So that's our upside targets here. So this would be like $1 and 102.15 to 102.30, and then up to 102.63, and then 103. So if the dollar starts to pump back to $1.03, crypto could continue to fall significantly. And we do have some levels here on Bitcoin. Look at this. It hit exactly at our level that we marked back here on April 23rd, or April 1st, 2023. We had this level marked. It was a very key level for multiple times. It was a rejection. It broke through. This was when we knew it could run to the upside. It broke through. Look at this. It came and just wicked it. Literally, bam. Just tapped it in there, rejected off of there. But it's possible to continue dropping. If we lose that level, then we have 28,045. And that was on our daily Heikin-Ashi. No, it wasn't that. What was 28,045? Why do we mark that? Let me know it in the comments. Do you guys remember why we marked that? I cover so much all the time. It's like hard to keep up sometimes. But we do have a big fair value gap right here. Price could definitely get back down into this level, 22,000. There's a supply and demand level down here, 20,000. But anyway, these levels right now are what we're looking to hold Bitcoin up. Bitcoin falls through here, we could return to these downsides. And look at this. We're at this oversold territory on the RSI. It's up at the 70s level. In fact, it's currently sitting at 67.8. But with how horrific Gary Gensler did yesterday, it did not give any confidence to crypto. People are freaking out a little bit. So we had that big pullback for the day yesterday. On the weekly charts, just so you guys are aware, we still have 4 days left. So there's still plenty of time. Crazy oversold or overbought on the weekly. We're overbought on the daily. You can see it's starting to crash back down. This is the midpoint, the 50 level. We have turned bearish. Market Liberator says it's a sell from back here. Even though it pumped pretty hard, it got really close to that stop loss on it. Look at that. So it said, oh, it's going to be a sell. And then the institutions kept faking everyone out, kept pumping, fake pumps. Boom, dropping it. Drop it like it's hot. Ethereum was a sell, ended up getting so overbought that it did a stop loss on this one, right? So it actually closed out the stop loss. It even turned into a new long position, traded sideways before the actual dump, but it is below the cloud and it is below the 14 exponential moving average now. And then returning back to XRP, like I said, this one is the strongest looking one. It came down and bounced off the 50 exponential. It's maintaining above this magic white line that we talk about. It's all the way down here at the oversold territory. We could see a return to the upside. But the only thing I don't like is there is a target down here, 43 cents. And these targets tend to play out pretty good off this Market Liberator indicator. It may take days, it may take weeks. We don't know, but it may happen.